want to go ahead and open up the Board of Works and Safety meeting at 5 o'clock. Please stand for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please, Carol.
Mayor Sheets,
Present.
Craig Miller is absent. Megan Sheets.
Okay, next on the agenda are the minutes from the October 12th regular meeting and the October 15th special meeting.
Mayor, I move we approve both the minutes from October 12th and October 15th.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Okay, next we have the claims for this week.
I'll also move that we accept the claims as submitted this evening.
Okay, I'll second that.
Roll call, Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Okay. Next on the agenda, we have public comments, and we have with us this evening Marilyn Chitty.
Thank you. For those that don't know, DAR worked with the Park Department and Indiana Landmark Association, and we got TPA Park declared a historical landmark. And we have the certificate back. We also got a state designation. We went to Fort Harrison and testified before we could get this, but everything was approved. And so therefore we have it back, and I have submitted to a firm to have plaques made. And I have given them all a copy. There's two styles, you can see from afar, and they will decide which one, but they've told me which one they prefer and which one the DAR, and then we will get this done, make an appointment, and have some pictures taken, and the park superintendent has said that he'll find a place to put this up so that the public can see that it was a long process. Washington, D.C. couldn't believe that we would have a title and all this in place, and Glory June, who works for them, presented that, and we got it approved. So I was here this evening to get the board's approval to go ahead to get a plaque and put it there.
Thank you, Marilyn, for all your work on it. I think that says a lot for our TPA. Thank you to the DDR as well, all that they've done. I'd entertain a motion to approve this.
Happily make a motion to approve the designation of TA Park as the plaque to denote that TPA Park is on the National Register of Historic Places.
I'll second that.
Roll call, Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Okay, thank you, Marilyn.
Thank you.
Moving forward on it, and then Bart, you'll work with her as far as placement and
Yes,
what we need to do. Have pictures and can there and bread. Thank you. Okay, next up is Fire Department, John Kirby.
All I have for you, Mayor, and Board, is I'd like to get moving on Station 2 and Station 3. As far as getting on quotes for the floor, I had another quote, but when we decided to go with some hardwood, it was just a carpet quote. I called that guy to see if he could give me another quote. He's never gotten back with me. It's been over a week, so I gave you guys, Mayor, I gave you a quote from Aaron's Flooring. And for both stations. And I would like to, Billy Wheeler's starting either Wednesday or Thursday this week painting. Now I would like to get Aaron's Flooring on the schedule too. That way when Billy's finished with his painting, he can start on the floor.
Can you tell us those quotes on the two? so that they can, people that are watching can hear that.
Yeah, I have them all, I have them added together, but both quotes was 9,845.69.
But the two that we're voting on today, Aaron's and,
That was
That
there.
was,
that was
that's
Aaron's,
the total.
okay.
That's the total of both
For
quotes.
both of them,
Yeah.
9,000, tell me that again,
9,845.69.
okay.
How,
And-
oh, go ahead, Chief.
No, I was just saying, I was looking through the budget on building repairs and building maintenance, and we got 15,256 left. And if I'd like to pay for the painting and the flooring, and that would be right around 15,160.69. So we do have enough in both of those to get that done.
So all that would be taken out of the fire department budget. You're not gonna use any Q fire then for,
Right, I was gonna use Cume Fire for like new kitchen tables and things of that nature, the blinds, the new blinds.
You had also mentioned some bathroom improvements and renovations.
Yeah, and I'm waiting on another quote, but I got Phil Keck's quotes for the shower updates. But I don't have the other quotes yet from the other people, so that's why I wasn't presenting that, but Phil did say that he could get started in December if we chose him. The only thing I was gonna have him do is these showers. And then we were just gonna get a new vanity, new toilet. And of course, Aaron would do the flooring and Billy would do the painting. Then it'd pretty much be done.
Do you think in this year's budget, you'd have enough to complete the shower situations as well?
Yeah, I think we can move some money around a little bit and do that. I still have some money left in lit. That could probably be one of the stations. And then in Cume Fire, I have enough to probably do the other.
yeah, you might have to do some transfers in Q fire, but I
Yeah.
don't think you'd have enough to.
Right, I think we figured out at 8,500, I can move the Cume Fire to get that done.
For those watching, I'd just like to stress that these, again, are for stations 2 and 3, and the chief has been looking into estimates. These are much needed repairs. The mayor and Carol did a walkthrough of both stations with the chief, and it's been a couple decades at least since there's been any improvements, and it's really needed. So this is not a frivolous expense whatsoever. So I'll make a motion that we approve the flooring estimates that you brought to us this evening.
Okay, and I'll second that motion. Thank you, Megan.
Then hopefully by the next meeting, I could have the shower, and bathroom closed.
That'd be
That'd be great. I'd like to have this all done by the end of the year. I think that's
That's our goal.
okay. Roll call.
Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye. Thank you, John, for your work on this. Like Megan said, much needed. Much needed.
That's all I have for you.
Okay,
All right,
thank you.
thank you.
Okay, next Parks Department, park training.
Good evening. First thing I have is for Veterans Day, it's an event, would be at Veterans Park. They would be using 28 of our park benches. We typically deliver them for weddings and a few other events. The reason I'm bringing it to the board is that we would like to waive the fee for them so they don't have to pay. It is for Veterans Day, and it's the VFW Post 11 or 1110.
Do you know what time that's gonna be?
10:30 to 11:30.
11:30, okay. I think it's something we've done in the past for them as well.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll make the motion. We approve this Veterans Day gathering and waive the fee associated.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Thank you. The next event that I have is for the following day. It's November 12th. And this is at the Neighborhood Center, and it's a free meal for local veterans. And we would like to do the same thing. We would just like to ask the board if they would waive the fee for that event as well. It is at the city center. They're hoping for 150 people or more, and that event is from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. on the 12th.
And someone's gonna provide the food or whatever, okay.
I'll also make the motion that we waive the fee associated with the gathering on November 12th at the neighborhood center.
I'll second that. Roll call.
Mayor Sheets,
Aye,
Megan Sheets,
okay, approval for both those.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
It's not on the agenda, but I had mentioned last meeting that we had quite a few people that were going through the hiring process. And we've had 4 people that are ready to start. They would start this week. One of them I've invited tonight. Marty, want to step up, please? This is Marty Hamilton. So she is going to be starting in January, the event coordinator. Right now she's filling the admin role, but today would be her first day if the board approves, and we're really excited to have Marty. So her along with the other new hires, I would like to have them approved, please.
I look forward, Marty, to having you on board with us. I think you'll enjoy it. It's gonna be a good year. We're just getting that Prairie Creek Park going, a lot of things at the park going, so it's exciting. And then you'll be working with Kimberly some, as we do city events as well, so.
Well, thank you.
Welcome.
I'm super excited. I hope to see lots of growth in attendance.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do we need a motion for that part?
I believe so.
Yes, okay. The new round of new hires that you have, we certainly want to make the motion to approve those.
Have they passed
Yes.
everything? Then yes, let's go ahead and move on.
I
Okay,
know you've been in communication with us email to be detailed about that, not just doing your blanket approval, because I know you've introduced us by way of email, but yes, I'd like to make the motion, we approve the new hires he's presented.
I'll second that. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Thank you.
Okay,
That's all.
you're ready to go. You have your new employees.
Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah, do you want to go ahead and do that now, Jason? Thank you. I'm gonna have Jason Forsythe, Street Superintendent, to give us an update on 28 West, along with Washington Avenue and paving for this year.
Megan, you get to hear me twice.
Okay, that's good. It's
Uh,
always good.
Real quick on Washington Avenue, we're going to start paving tomorrow. Obviously our monsoon is going to keep us from doing that. So they're looking at Wednesday morning to start back up. And Wednesday and Thursday are supposed to be good days. So they'll start putting the base asphalt down there. Obviously finishing up curb ramps, approaches, things of that nature. So things are going really well down on Washington Avenue. I spent about an hour and a half at a meeting with State Road 28 today, and I'm going to pass out some information to the council and the mayor later on. But just to go over a few things, obviously everyone knows that is a slow process out there. There's been numerous change orders put in for that job. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in change orders. I did speak to them. 2 things that I spoke to them about today was, first of all, we got about 4 projects down there that was on our list to pave. McKinley's one of them, Short Myrtle, the Boomer Street on one side, and then also Nickel Plate Road. Trying to get an idea of what their thinking is as to when we would be able to do those next year. Obviously told them, we're waiting on the community crossings to come through, but would like to know, are we going to be able to do those at the same time when we start? Because I'd like to let the contractor know once we encumber the money and everything, let them know what's going on with that as well. McKinley's a fairly large project. The other 3 or 4 down there are small projects, but either way, they're all right there in that same location. The other thing I spoke to them about was a public meeting for the constituents of our city and our business people down through there, 3Ds, Del Rio, everyone. And I've always thought that staying out in front of things is the best thing to do. So I spoke to Gary Fox and then representative from Fox Paving and also E&B, who are the 2 contractors on there. and asked them if they would be willing to have me set up a time, possibly Mayor, at the public library. So if someone knows who I can contact at the public library to get a meeting date set up, probably in the next 3 weeks. I said it'd probably be better to do it on Monday through Thursday, maybe 7 p.m. in the evening, just to let people know what's going on. I'm having a difficult time getting answers from anyone, but I also think it would behoove the contractors involved to let people know what they've been running into down there as well. I mean, it hasn't been smooth sailing for them. So I think it'd be a good idea to just get everybody in the same room together, give the businesses, constituents a chance to maybe ask questions, or just listen. That way they can kind of get an idea of what's going on as well. I know people are frustrated. You know, I know the construction side of things. I know what can happen, but a lot of people don't. And if we don't let them know what's going on, they'll never know. So they agreed to that. And so next 3 weeks, I told them to give me a couple of dates. I could see if the library would have their auditorium available for us to use possibly. I know we've used it in the past, or, you know, if we can't do it there, maybe the high school or something like that, just to have a fairly decent sized place to have something like that. So
I did leave a message.
and he spoke to me and told me he got your
Yes.
voicemail.
I told him how concerned that we were for the businesses, the citizens. It's been pretty frustrating for the city. And I asked him as well if we could have a public meeting, what can we do? And so thank you, Jason, for
Definitely agree with everything. And I think, like I said, I'm not sure that Fox and E&B was too much in favor of it, but I think the bottom line, it'll be good for them as well. So
Right.
we'll see. But
I think we owe it to the people. It's been a long time, that project, and it's been so frustrating, and it's affected businesses. I know that it has. If you want to work with Kimberly, she can probably help you set up a time with the libraries. So.
I want to wait for them to give me a couple of dates, just so I
Okay.
know. And I told them to give me 2 at least, so I can see which one might work better for
Okay.
the library or whatever we have to have. So
Okay, that sounds good.
that's why I
Can you talk for a few minutes about the paving, kind of give an explanation again? People seem to be struggling right now with exactly the CCMG grant and why we can't go ahead with paving. Had different people comment on that.
I applied the same time this year for CCMG as I did last year. Obviously, every year more communities know about it, are interested in it, obviously, because it's a matching grant. So I assume right now they've just got a ton of applications that they're going through, and NDOT has to go through each and every one of those. And a lot of people don't get any money from it. It just depends on what they think about the grant that was proposed to them. So basically, the situation we're in now is we're too deep in the year to where we would be able to do any paving. That was the reason I had Kimberly do a nice release the other day, just let people know where we are at. Once this grant comes in, which I'm positive it'll be in, here probably the next month or so, if not before, then the city will, establish a contract like we always do, encumber the money, and then look to springtime or whatever warms up next year to do the paving. I think I told everyone in the past that I'm going to apply for the first call in January next year. So we'll go through the process once again, probably once that's done, just depending on what happens with that. Obviously, the city has money to put forward either way, so we're going to have to do something there too. But I, it's unfortunate. I hated to not be able to do that. I want to pay something every year, but we would not be doing things the right way if we didn't try to double our money. And there's a lot of reasons we do that. Being able to pay $920,000 versus $460,000 is obviously something we need to be doing. So that's kind of where we're at.
I just want people to understand that the city does have money. Along with the council a few weeks ago, they did an additional appropriation of $200,000 of the COVID money. So that's how we're able to do that much paving. It's not, we want the grant, but we're not using the funds that have been set aside for that. I think some people misunderstand that. They think we're only going to use the grant money. That's not true. It's a 50-50 match. So
I think that's one thing everyone in our city has been in favor of since I came on board for sure in 15, and since CCMG started in 16, is infrastructure. And our infrastructure was in not the best shape in the world, and we've done a lot of paving over the last 6 years. And You were just trying to get the best bang for the buck, so.
And we cannot put that out for bid until we're positively sure how much money we have. You cannot put it out for $920,000, not knowing whether or not we're gonna get that CCMG. So I want people to understand that we are working on this. It's just a process. There's certain things you have to do. And it's not that we're not using the money, but it's been set aside for that.
We, you know, like I said, I believe it might be a godsend with what we're dealing with out on 28 and then obviously Washington Avenue. We're doing Hoy Street, which is off of Washington Avenue. That will be cleaned up pretty soon. So probably in November, 1st of December, Washington Avenue will be ready to go. But 28, you know, you just don't, you want a contractor to be able to come in and do their work and go.
Right.
And so I think maybe it was a godsend. Maybe we weren't supposed to get the information until later on. So.
Won't have to be working around all those other problems out there on 28 or Washington Avenue. Well, thank you, Jason. I appreciate it. Okay, thanks. Okay, next up on the agenda is the attorney, and we have employment matter.
An employment matter was brought to the Board of Works last week, and pursuant to state statute, you have been provided a letter to be sent to the affected employee. And so we are seeking approval of that letter to be sent to follow state statute.
Thank you, Alicia. I'll make the motion that we approve the notice of charges in letter form, and as well as the notice of statutory rights be delivered in person following the meeting today, following approval.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye. Okay, thank you, Alicia. Okay, next up on the agenda is Resolution 2114, and it's resolution of the City of Frankfort Board of Public Works and Safety recommending selection of selected offerer. And tonight we have Rich Starkey with us, who's going to talk to us a little bit about the process and where the city is in all this.
Sure. Rich Starkey is the law firm of Morris & Thornburg. Maybe a little bit of history might be appropriate for everybody on this because it's been a very long process. So this involves both the pool project and the police station project. And as most of, if not all of you know, we went through the process of getting bids, construction bids for both projects. Those bids came in higher than we thought, but which is pretty apropos for what's been happening around the country because of COVID and everything else being supplies being limited, et cetera, and people being busy. So one of the things that was considered and finally decided upon was that there's a process called Build, Operate, Transfer, or BOT, under the state statute that would allow us to combine both these projects together into one project and to select a bidder that could do both projects and hopefully save some money, not only in value engineering, but also in the fact that they're done together. So instead of having two construction managers, let's say you would have one. And so the city went through a process of, first of all, adopting the BOT statute. That was done by the Common Council. And then we went through an RFP process where we asked bidders to bid on the BOT process for both projects. That's been completed, and we received one bid from Envoy, which does a lot of these kinds of projects and has basically said not only are they willing to do it, but they're willing to work with the present architects and the present all the present drawings, et cetera, that have been already done in order to value engineer and talk with those entities to try to make sure we can come in under budget. So the process under the BOT statute is why we're here today is that the BOT statute requires a recommendation from the Board of Works to the Common Council in order to actually accept Envoy's bid as the offeror. And we'll set that up for a public hearing before the Common Council, and that's going to be advertised on Wednesday for the public hearing. And so that occurs November, is it 8th, before the Common Council to actually accept the bid from Envoy. Once that happens, then Envoy will go through the process that they estimate is going to take a couple months to actually work through the value engineering and working with all the contractors to try to get the bids down to a point where that's acceptable for the city. And then we'll go through the process of actually starting the bond process to help pay for all of this. So the pool project will go through the Redevelopment Authority and Redevelopment Commission. And the police station will go through the building corporation that's been set up already to issue bonds in order to pay for the eventual project and hopefully the bids that come in at the point where it's acceptable. And of course, we won't issue bonds until we know that the bids have been set. And one of the nice things about the BOT statute is that the city will get a final not to exceed amount. And almost in all cases, there are no change orders. So this is kind of a final guaranteed maximum price contract that you'll get. So we'll know exactly how much it's going to cost, and we'll know how to size the bonds to pay for it. So tonight, the resolution is before you is the recommendation of the Board of Works to the Common Council to accept Envoy as the offeror under the BOT statute.
And then once, if we pass this tonight, then that's what will be sent on to the Common Council for their November 8th meeting.
Correct. And the Envoy's bid to be the offeror is open for public inspection. That will be in the Clerk Treasurer's office beginning Wednesday.
Yes. That along with their, would be available to the public then.
Right.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Rich? Appreciate all your help on it. It's been a lot of going back and forth to get this all taken care of. Looking forward
3
to
years.
it. I don't know if we're gonna, I get 3 years.
For this county.
I don't know if we're gonna get groundbreaking this year. Are we, Scott and Barb?
No, it'll be January, hopefully.
They're saying, Gene, I want this year. Can't get them to move, but yeah. Anyway, hopefully it'll be soon. We're moving forward. That's what's most important at this point. I see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, right?
Hopefully it's a bright light.
Let's hope so. Okay. Do you have any-
Rich,
Okay.
should the motion include the memorandum as well?
It doesn't have to. The memorandum is for informational purposes for the board members and the Common Council. So it's really the resolution that you need to adopt.
Yes.
The resolution number is 21-14 and is a resolution of the City of Frankfort Board of Public Works and Safety recommending the selection of selected offerer. And that is in the form of a motion to go before the Board of Works this evening.
I second that motion.
Ready for roll call? Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Thank
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, and then Carol's gonna make sure that this gets released to the council. They'll have it before the meeting November 8th, so. And we'll have the public hearing at that time. Okay, does anybody have anything on unfinished business? Okay, new business. Did you have the engagement letter? We have an engagement letter tonight to approve for Adam Collins, and he's with Wallach, Somers, and Haas, and he's going to help the city with the bot process. He's very familiar with it. I think he's working with Carmel right now. He comes highly recommended, and Les has asked as well if we could approve this letter of engagement.
The bot process is so specialized that this is an attorney that is very specialized in that area. And so that will aid in our negotiations and so forth. So I'll make the motion that we approve the engagement of attorney Adam W. Collins to aid us in this process.
I'll second that motion. Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye. Okay, and we've already taken care of the memorandum of recommendation to the Common Council. So do you have anything else, Megan? Carol? Okay, then we'll see everybody at the council meeting. Thank you. You want to make a motion to adjourn?
I don't have